This is Van Electric Ghost, and this is an episode deep into that Anomie. Peg talks up vacant holes, and Josephine Electric is my alter ego. We created her originally with the Roland JDXI vocoder using soprano mode against my voice. In the last couple of years, we moved to the VT3 vocal transformer, and now we're using the VT4 vocal transformer from Roland. One of the great things about the VT4 is that it's fully polyphonic to 4 notes. It has a harmony capability. It's battery operated. It's pretty small and compact, and it really integrates well with our other hardware. We directly put it into our MX1 performance mixer, and we use it with a studio electronics microphone. Now, the two songs here are kind of talking about the social idea of anomie, which is like a disassociation with society, and you feel like you're on the outs. And the idea is Josephine is a dominatrix, but in this particular song, the filling your holes or vacant holes, is love filling your holes in your soul. Josephine's pretty much got herself more in a submissive mode where she's being, pretty much pressed against the proverbial wall when it comes to, voluntary degradation, and she's, doing some very dangerous types of sex where she potentially could pass out, and she's really pushing it too far. And the idea is like, what is the hole in her soul that's causing her to go this extreme? And the power in the song is the fact that we're using these raw analog sounds coming from the grandmother, coming from the Make Noise math module tied with the Mother 32, which allows us to create this very raw punk aesthetic that we have talked about before. As a young kid, we grew up liking bands like Husker Du, Joy Division, The Replacements, The Clash, Depeche Mode, and then people like Bowie and Bernie Worrell from Funkadelic. And I would say, Bernie Worrell was like a really big influence in terms of, everything that Prince was doing is a combination of like Bernie Worrell, Sly, and Hendrix and Santana. But the kind of funk that P-Funk did was just incredible. And I think it just shows how you should be more imaginative in your music. Bernie Worrell was classically trained, and he really brought the funk to everything. I mean, a lot of hip hop is based on grooves that he came up with along with George Clinton, and then Bootsy. But the whole idea of expansive sound is being able to cross genre. And then the other song we talk about is The Riot and This Girl, and there's another idea, the punk aesthetic. We're big lovers of Liz Phair and Sleater Kinney, and Josephine is our kind of own nod to our feminine self, and the fact that she's got this punk aesthetic, and then she's complicated in that she's not just out there in her dungeon doing all this sex. She's has a deeper concept. She's got some other issues in her life where she's had heartbreak, and in some of the songs that we've done in the past, they kind of examine that heartbreak. A song that we did that we really love, with one of our favorite songs, is just this idea of Fragile with You Tonight is I think one of our favorite songs that we wrote for a partner that we just blew up that relationship. But the feeling in that song is really, it was real. And so on Instagram, we've got that song on our expansive _sound_experiments. We got the video for that. It's from 2017. Again, it's So Fragile with You Tonight. And that is one of our favorite songs. We're probably going to include it here just because we're talking about it. And it's just one of our songs that we really, for some reason, it just really triggers us in a way. It might not be on the initial episode. We're going to add it later. But it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. That's just a deep song. And it had a lot of piano parts that we played live, and we've done like 3 versions of it. And the version that we're going to include is the one we like the most. And we've only played it maybe 4 times ever live back in 2017, where we were in the throes of a passionate affection that it was not returned and kind of fell apart. And, it's my fault. But it's just the whole idea. As a musician, you tend to write about your own psychosis, about your own problems, and a lot of times that's what we do. And we hope that you like the more recent stuff with the Mogs, the Grandmother, the DFAM, and the Mother 32. We think these songs represent what we call trash wave, which is an idea of new wave and punk that you do by creating a kind of stream of consciousness, recording live into our recording solution, which is a Zoom R24 digital recorder, rather than using a DAW. We're into the group of people who are doing DAW-less recording, and we think cool devices like the Kai 1 and then things like the Zoom R24 and other types of capabilities that allow you to record without using a DAW are our favorite, like the Tascam 24. And we're always looking into things like the Behringer Wing. We're looking at that, though we've heard there's some issues with the quality potentially. Not to disparage them, but other Behringer mixer consoles have had some reputation for not being as reliable as they probably should be. So that we're interested in. And then another thing we'll bring up in terms of Behringer, three products that we're very interested in are their R2600 clone, the System 100 modules, and the System 55 modules. We think the System 155 modules are really great. The fact that they were able to bring those, and we're really interested in the fixed filter bank and some of the other things I think they're also going to have Complement B, which is the original analog sequencer. So those things are like we're lusting after, and we're looking at integrating those bit by bit going into 2020 once we get our maiden gig again. And that goes to the fact that we are working Uber 24/7. And if you want to help us out, please hit the subscribe, support buttons. That would help us a lot. We don't have healthcare at the time. This time we're working on getting it. If you can help us out, that'd be great. Thank you very much. And continue to support the Ghost by listening on all the 11 platforms that Anchor FM pushes this episode out to. Listen to our songs on Spotify. You can find us at Phantom Electric Ghost on all platforms. And we do appreciate your support by listening, because that actually does get us to be paid. Let your friends know about what we're doing and listen to the interviews that we have with other bands. And we'll talk to you later.
Some say song leaves you without. Yeah, take a ride, take a fill, around my throat. Some say song, all I don't. Some say I. With a soul. Well, you'll be the one to know. You are the one digging my hole. So, sing a song. Leave you without. Yeah, you got that grub, got that bill around my soul. sing a song. You never know. They're not the one digging my hole. So they would know. Song, sing a song, leave you. I'm a little down on the deep. I'm a little down in the deep. I'm a little down in the deep. But that's all me. And that's all me. I'm a little down on the scene. I'm a little down on that scene. Do you want to get with Miss Josephine? Miss Dirty it's gonna be. I'm a little down in its deep. And it's all me. Don't you want to be in a scene? Don't you want to dive down deep? It's all me. I don't care what you believe. I'm a little down on the deep. Don't you really worry, honey, don't you want down in your disease? Oh yeah, don't come for free. Never die in me. Don't you want to drown down deep? For me, expect me. You could see murder and blue. If you could go get that dude. Don't you worry, it's all me. Don't you wanna really drown deep? Don't you really worry, honey, it's all me. Don't you wanna die doing a deed? For Miss Josephine. Don't you wanna die doing a deed? Don't you worry, honey, it's all me. Don't you wanna die in the sea? Don't you wanna know it's like a bee? With the queen like me, with the dream like me, and with the girl on the scene, a white girl beyond belief. Don't you wanna be with the phantasmic queen? Don't you wanna drown deep? Don't you worry, hon, it's all me. Don't you worry, hon, it's all me. Don't you want to go drown deep? Don't you worry, hon, it's all me. Don't you want to go drown deep? Yes, what you believe. Everything about the sea is what you believe. Gonna get you down, just Josephine. What you believe. Gonna get you drown with me. Right, you're the girl. Right, you're the pearl. Right, it's the world. Don't you want your flag unfurled? Right, I'm that girl. Right, you dig down deep in this world. You're gonna get hurt. you want your flag unfurled? I'm divided in the world. I'm divided in this girl. Deep down, don't you wanna get hurt? Don't you really wanna get burned? I'm divided in this world. I'm divided in this girl. Don't you deep down wanna get hurt? Don't you really know what it's worth? Don't even use words. Actions speak more when it hurts. Don't even use words. Actions speak more when it hurts. Deep down, don't you want my pearl? Deep down, don't you want this girl? I'm divided in this world. I'm divided in that girl. Deep down, I just wanna go digging for my pearls. Don't you know it's Josephine's Stephanie's world? I'm divided on this earth. Deep down, don't you really wanna get hurt? Don't you really know what it's worth? We know what you gotta get hurt. I'm divided on a girl. I'm divided on this earth. Deep down, don't you know what it's worth? Deep down, don't you really wanna get hurt? Deep down, don't you wanna get twice burned? Don't you know you never do learn?
This band Electric Ghost, again, one thing I forgot to mention is there are multiple bass lines in this song that we just talked about. And the song that has the multiple bass lines is Love Filling the Holes in Your Soul. It's got a Moog, bass line coming from the grandmother and also one coming from the D-Fam. And there's a third that's actually coming from the Roland System 1M. And the Roland System 1M is a nod to like their System 100. You actually can do System 100 emulation. We're actually using the standard bass synthesis of the System 1M. We've got the rack mount version that has controlled voltage, but no keyboard. We've got it connected to an Arturia BeatStep Pro. And we're using the low pass filter on it to do a very interesting bass line. Previously we were doing kind of a sample and hold structure that was really kind of reminiscent of an R2600 in the last couple tracks that we've released. Had this kind of bubbling R2D2 kind of up and down between intervals, random, sound generation. So you can get from a random voltage generator, or you can get from a sample and hold circuit. But what we used in this time, we were using the LFO on the Roland System 100, along with the low pass filter, to create a very deep bass line that's really interesting. And this isn't an analog synth, but the System 100 plays very well with our analog gear. It's digital, but it has a lot of capability. So we've used it a lot since 2016. We used it in our music. It shows up on our album Something Wicked, which is on Amazon CD. It shows on our album Indigo Menace, which is still on Amazon CD. Synesthesia, Neo Soul Surrender, and The Flower That Blooms at Midnight in the Tomb, which are still available on CD on Amazon.com. So check out Amazon.com, type in Phantom Electric Ghost, and you'll see that we have 4 CDs out there. If you want a physical album from the Ghost, you can get one. So again, it's really interesting what we were able to do with the System 100 because you would have thought it was a Moog. In the same way, the Mother 32 lead lines you probably thought were coming from grandmother, they're actually coming from the Mother 32 triggered by a Juno GI. So we just wanted to add that explanation to this episode because we forgot to mention that we've been using the System 1M pretty much in combination with our other analog, our analog gear. So talk to you later. Thank you for listening to Phantom Electric Ghost. This is Phantom Electric Ghost. I forgot to talk about the song that has an interesting LFO on it in this episode, and that's the song that we were talking about in a previous episode. But there's an interesting thing you can do with the math module for Make Noise. You can use its ability to do LFOs to create a kick. And so we've been playing with it, and we created an interesting kick drum in the song called The Riot in This Girl. We're using Mother 32 into a Make Noise math utility module in our Eurorack. And we use the LFO on the Mother 32, and then we use the ability to do 2 additional LFOs on the math module to create a kick drum. And you just play with the speed of the frequency of the cycle till you get the kind of kick you want, and then you play with the cutoff on the Mother 32 to kind of get the sound you're looking for. And it's interesting because you always think you'd use that with the DFAM, but what we have going on in this song is we have a DFAM analog drum beat, and then we have the Mother 32 doing the kick that we bring in and out of the song. So we're able to bring the kick in and out of the song, the Mother 32 math module kick. And so it's really fun, and we've done this a couple times in the last couple of songs we've written in the last 2 weeks, is to use the ability of the math module to do this type of thing. Now, what's interesting is the ARP 2600 is famous for creating kick drums for a lot of bands. A lot of bands use it to do that because it's a kind of a sonic playground. But the Moogs, and the thing about semi-modular things is like this, you don't necessarily have to have an ARP 2600 to do some of the things that the ARP is known for. There's a sampling hold module capability on the Moog grandmother that we're able to utilize similar to the sampling hold on the ARP 2600. We're able to also do the famous kick by playing with our additional Eurorack modules. So the cool thing about the Euroracks is you can continually get modules and interconnect them and get interesting combinations of sonic creation or sound design. And so I think that's very interesting. We're constantly looking at tutorials on the web from guys like Loop Pop and also from Sonic State and the Andertons. And then Moog itself actually produces patch books through YouTube. They do like a patchwork sessions where they show how to actually connect their modular gear. Sorry, I'm a little tired. As I said, I'm out Ubering 12 hours a day in between trying to get a new gig in my information technology day job. And to realize that as musicians, we do what we do because we love it, but the music industry doesn't really pay musicians unless they're in the top tier. So you do it because you love it, but you won't usually make a lot of money or any money. You do it because of the passion that you have to create work. You hope you find an audience. With this Anchor podcast, we've been able to get an audience that's pretty big. I mean, we had a big audience on our original SoundCloud, up to 80,000 plays. Our new SoundCloud is close to 50,000 plays, and so we're doing pretty well that way. But the podcast has allowed us to talk to other bands and do collaborations, and it's been really cool. And as a musician, in this world where there's a coronavirus and stuff, it's cool to be able to do virtual performance. We've been doing Facebook Live performances for many, many years, and with the situation with the coronavirus, it's kind of cool to be able to do these interviews with people and not physically have to travel do collaborations without having to, physically go to a venue and actually have people across a desk. So we'd love to do that in the future. And our overall goal is to build a sound design studio for expansive sound experiments in our home state of New Hampshire and provide a really cool analog playground for those who want to have access to analog equipment. So our idea is to, eventually get like some really cool vintage gear or post vintage gear like a Model 55, Model 11, um, Model 33. Just build up a big capability to do a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, with a neat board and actual analog tape capability, kind of like what Jack White is doing with what he does in Tennessee with his Third Man Records. He does vinyl, he does analog reproductions and stuff. So that's what we're into. Hope you like what we're doing, and we'll talk to you later.